Let's go to Lorna in Edmonton on equalization payments. Go ahead, Lorna. You're on with the Premier.
Thank you for taking my call. I'm calling about the transfer payments because I'm hearing people say that it's not a worthy argument for Alberta to be concerned. On August the 9th, CTV, the national news, they covered where there's critical minerals deposits in Ontario and Quebec especially. And my question is, if that is such a valuable resource, how on earth are they not being included in the transfer payment or equalization formula? It baffles me because Newfoundland, Alberta, anybody with oil, we are paying into the program and saying because we want to have equal access to funds. Well, if these provinces are receiving transfer payments and they have this valuable critical mineral deposit, and I think they also showed that of all the critical mineral refineries in Canada, Quebec had 7 of them. How on earth do they calculate this formula? And then I have one other question. Did Justin Trudeau not have an option to review the equalization formula when he first came in 2015? But instead of looking at it again, he just flipped it on through in the way that have been in status quo.
So let me answer both those questions. Thanks, Lorna. To answer your second question first, yeah, it's politics. I mean, what they wanted to do is trash Stephen Harper and say, oh, we're just doing the exact same formula as Stephen Harper. The problem is that I don't think it was ever foreseen that the amount of the pot of money would grow with the growth in economies. That makes no sense. With the growth in economies, you would think that provinces would become less reliant, and so you should have less money going into it. You know, Trevor Toome is traveling with us on the Alberta Next panel, and he sits next to me, and I always pick up little interesting tidbits from him, which are really important. And one of the things he said is that we haven't changed this formula since 2007. This formula has gone through multiple changes over the years. This is the longest stretch of time that it has gone without a rewrite. So you're dead right. It absolutely does need to be changed. And now to your second question, Alberta gets penalized because the way the formula is put together is it asks what would we get if we had a sales tax, right? So that's one of the questions. So because we don't have a sales tax, we would never qualify for equalization. The formula is written such that we will never qualify for equalization. But they don't ask the question, what would Quebec get if Quebec charged market rates for its electricity rather than subsidize it? Because that's a really important question. They're a crown corporation that pays a dividend to the provincial government. And I can tell you the answer to that. I think it would generate about $6 billion additional dollars in revenue if Quebec wasn't subsidizing its consumer rates and getting the proper amount of revenue. Why isn't that factored in? I have no problem if they want to subsidize it, but they can't be making Canada pay for the subsidy. They can pay for it themselves. Same thing is if you want to landlock your natural gas, which Quebec has done, they have a 200-year supply of natural gas. They're dependent 100% for their gas right now on the United States. And yet imagine if we decided, we've decided we're not going to get natural gas or oil revenues anymore. Canada, kick over money so that we can balance our budget. You know exactly what the answer would be. Well, you know what? That should be the answer to the other provinces. You've chosen not to develop your resources. Well, we're going to deduct that out of what you get from Canada. This is the reason we need to have the discussion on this, especially now that every single province and territory realizes they need to pull up their socks and they need to start producing more. You can't spend money on the social programs you care about unless you're generating the wealth to be able to pay for it. That is just a bottom line. And you can't keep on siphoning off Alberta because we have a different culture here at the same time as demonizing us for what we do. So we're trying to change the conversation in the country, and I think we're having a little bit of success now that the world has changed so much in the last year.